We are the lucky ones. We walked away intact. We will never forget our brothers and sisters who did not. Around the 1st of February 2014, a few ex-jockeys had seen each other's posting on Facebook and thought it would be a good idea to get together for a reunion. Most of these riders had not seen each other for over 30 years, but old friendships just never die. So it was decided to meet at Florida Tampa Bay Downs since most of the old-timers were in Florida. Somehow this informal meeting grew into a charity event spearheaded by Eddie Donnelly, who now holds a Doctor of Ministry, and former Kentucky Derby winner Mike Manganella. Other members of this group soon came together and Jockeys and Jeans were born. Leading the charge to get this going was Barbara Jo Rubin, who was the first woman to ride a race in the U.S., Darrell Brown, who was a leading rider at Tampa Bay Downs, Dennis Petrocelli, a former Tampa Bay Downs rider, and Barry Pearl, an ex-jockey who became a businessman. With Reverend Eddie at the helm, Jockeys and Jeans partnered with the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund and started to make plans to raise money for PDJF. Contacts were made with Tampa Bay Downs and they were convinced to hold our event at Tampa Bay Downs on March 29, 2014. So here we are, a bunch of ex-jockeys given the task to put this charity event with only 6 weeks until the event. Fortunately, we had the help of Nancy Lasella from the PDJF, who is an expert at this type of event. So boots were put on, saddles were polished, whips were checked, and helmets were prepared. Not really. We formed our committees and started to go to work. Now, there was some speculation in the racing industry that we would never succeed. How could a bunch of undersized, over-egotistical ex-jockeys form a successful charity event? My goodness, it would be like herding cats. So with a starting working capital of $300 donated by our members, we went to work. Each committee member had a job to do, and let me tell you, they took this very seriously. Ed was our captain and chief publicist and a mighty fundraiser. Mike contacted donors and brought in Kitty Jimenez, who is now his wife, who was an expert at putting together events such as ours. Darrell and his lovely wife Maureen took on the responsibility of getting the word out in the Ocala area and brought in one of our largest contributors, Glen Hill Farm. Barbara Jo Rubin was in charge of our auction items, which was a monumental task. Dennis was in charge of ticket sales at the track to the jockeys and talked many of the Tampa riders into donating amount fee from that day. Barry Pearl was tasked with sponsorship sales, and from what I heard, he still cannot get the phone unstuck from his ear. So how did we do? We proved to the world that 6 undersized, overconfident men and women could get the job done. We raised in just 6 weeks over $20,000 for the PDJF and had the pleasure to meet other old-timers and riders who had suffered life-changing injuries. So this is the question you ask. Will you folks be doing this again? What do you think? It's now 2015 and we've made arrangements to do our next event at the beautiful Indiana Grand Racing Casino. Mike, Kitty, Barbara Jo, Gordy, myself, and my wife Dee all travel out to Indiana to meet with Brian Elmore, who is the Vice President of Racing for Centaur. Brian showed us a great time and showed us all around the facilities, the casino, the racetrack, all around the thing, and I can tell you this, it is a beautiful facility, and we are really looking forward to going out to Indiana. After our tour of Indiana Grand, we decided to get to work. We had a meeting that lasted for a couple hours in the middle of the clubhouse. Brian, Tony Rentz, Mike, and all the crew was there to work things out. It was a great meeting, with Mike and I now discussing the finer points of our meeting. Here is the beautiful clubhouse where Jockeys and Jeans will be held. This is the reason that we do Jockeys and Jeans. Our motto is, we are the lucky ones. We walked away intact. We will never forget those of our brothers and sisters who did not. Ron Turcotte, Mike Strait, Jack Fires, and Ann Von Rosen. Only a few of the over 60 jockeys that PDJF helps. So come, see us at Jockeys and Jeans. Buy a ticket. You'll feel much better for it.